At 2:33 a.m. tonight, Archangel Michael will reveal who in your family has been hiding this. Don't let them know you know. Watch now. At 2:33 a.m. tonight, Heaven's scroll will be unsealed for a chosen few, and among them, you have been divinely selected. This is not a coincidence. It is a moment of precise timing, etched into the divine calendar long before you ever question the loyalty of those closest to you. The numbers themselves are a signal, 2:33 a.m. Not just a time, but a code. A sacred key opening a hidden chamber of truth long buried under smiles, dinners, and shared memories. Tonight, what has been cloaked in warmth will be uncovered in stillness. Archangel Michael, the defender of truth and the mighty prince of the heavenly host, comes not with gentleness, but with a sword of divine light. He comes not to soothe, but to expose. He descends in silence, stepping into the very atmosphere of your home, not with noise, but with divine strategy. His presence will stir the unseen. His voice will whisper into your spirit, "Prepare, for tonight." Eyes will open. He does not bring fear but revelation. And through him you shall not just see but discern. You will know what has been withheld. You will understand the glances, the avoidance, the sudden tension. All of it will click together like pieces of a spiritual puzzle divinely laid before you. There has been a betrayal, not obvious, not loud, but deep. It's not a stranger's wound. It's a familiar voice that turned, a closed heart that masked deception with duty. This is a betrayal cloaked in affection. And what hurts is not just what they did, but who they pretended to be while they did it. This message is not for everyone. This message is not for the masses scrolling endlessly, numb to spiritual signals. No, this is for the awakened. This is for those who feel the tremor before the quake. This is for those whose dreams have been disturbed, whose peace has been leaking, and who can no longer explain the unease in their bones. If you're listening, it's because heaven chose you to hear. This message carries a sacred weight and a sacred condition. Your silence is your weapon now. Your stillness is your shield. Do not confront. Do not accuse. Heaven is testing your ability to discern without disclosing, to carry truth without spilling it recklessly. This is divine surveillance, and you have been briefed. Prepare your spirit. Lock in your awareness. The veil is about to be pulled back, and everything you felt but couldn't prove will be made visible. Trust this timing. Trust who is sending this word. Archangel Michael does not visit without cause, and he never speaks without consequence. Type "I receive" in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 233 is now circling your home. In the stillness of the night, when the world rests and shadows stretch across the soul, Archangel Michael descends. He comes not in dreams but in divine disruption. At exactly 2:33 a.m., the veil between what you see and what has been hidden will tremble. This moment is not ordinary. It is not casual. It is heaven's appointed hour, a spiritual breach into deception's disguise. Michael comes cloaked in fire, not to comfort but to confront. He bears not words of peace, but a sword forged in truth. Its sword is already drawn, and its point is aimed at the hidden thing festering within your family line. Tonight, heaven interrupts your sleep. You will not wake because of restlessness, but because of revelation. This message carries holy weight, and if you're hearing it now, it means heaven has pierced through the noise of your life to speak directly to your spirit. You have sensed something. You felt the cold stare across the dinner table. You've caught the flicker in their eye when certain names are mentioned. You've walked into rooms where silence hit like a wall. The divine sees what you've ignored, and tonight, the veil will burn. At 2:33 a.m., a window opens. A sacred, 2-hour window spiritual exposure. During this time, the hidden becomes visible, not through confrontation, but through inner awakening. Your senses will sharpen. Your dreams will speak in layers. Your breath will sow with awareness. You are not imagining it. You are not paranoid. What you felt is real, and heaven confirms it now. Michael stands watch as the lie begins to unravel. This is not for the lukewarm. This is not for the curious. This is for the called. This is for those who know the price of spiritual awareness. You have been set apart. You were marked long ago to carry discernment others ran from. And tonight, that mark begins to burn brighter. This message is heaven's alarm, a blast into the silence of your spirit that you can no longer afford to ignore. Michael says, guard your tongue. Guard your reactions. They are watching you as you have begun to watch them. But you are not the same. You are becoming more than they remember. You are stepping into a knowing that will unsettle the hidden spirits clinging to those who smile in your face. This is no longer about suspicion. This is about revelation. And revelation always comes at a cost. This hour is holy. Do not speak what you see. Do not expose what you now know. There is divine intelligence moving through your silence. Your stillness is not weakness. It is warfare. For in the still, heaven stirs. And in that quiet obedience, Michael moves. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. There is a stirring beneath your roof. It is silent. It is subtle. But it is there. Someone in your family has been masking deception with routine, covering hidden agendas with overused smiles. You felt it. The strange disconnection, the inconsistent words, the unexplained shifts in mood and conversation. Your patterns don't match their persona anymore. They are withdrawn when they used to be present. They avoid eye contact when the subject gets close. Or they suddenly become over-involved, inserting themselves into your space to monitor what you may be discovering. It's not love. It's surveillance. The home is real heavy with the weight of the unspoken. You sit at the same table, but the air has changed. There's an energy that watches, that listens, that calculates. You feel it in your bones before it ever hits your mind. Your spirit has picked up what your eyes weren't trained to see. Michael confirms this now. It is not your imagination. The shift in energy, the cold presence behind their casual talk, it's real. They act like nothing is wrong. They say all the right words. But beneath their smiles is a guardedness. And beneath that guardedness is guilt. They are hiding something. I have built a web of secrets within reach of your trust. The danger is not in what they did. The danger is that they thought you would never see it. But you did see it, didn't you? In the fragments of conversation that didn't quite add up. In the dreams that startled you awake. In the gut feelings that have grown too loud to dismiss. You've seen glimpses. You felt fragments. And now, Archangel Michael reveals the whole. Do not confront them. Do not expose your knowing. They are watching your reaction. They are waiting for confirmation that you've caught on. But your silence is unsettling them. Your stillness is louder than any confrontation could be. That's why they're nervous. That's why they're shifting. They know the energy has changed, and it's because of you. Heaven whispers now, you were never blind. You were just being positioned. You were being prepared. And now, your spirit is ready to see it all without breaking. What you felt was betrayal disguised as loyalty. What you sensed was their attempt to maintain your blindness. But heaven has interrupted that cycle. The exposure begins now. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks. with contributions of up to $10. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 999 is now surrounding you. Hear this now. This is not a family feud. This is not about personality differences or unresolved tension. This is not about who did what or who said what. No, this is war. A spiritual battle cloaked in familiar faces. A testing ground not of your emotions, but of your discernment. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against spiritual wickedness in high places, even in households. And right now, you are standing at the center of a divine test, and the battlefield is disguised as your living room. Archangel Michael speaks with fire. This is not about them. This is about what's using them. What is hiding in them is not merely a personal flaw. It is a spirit, a deceiver that has found refuge in their wounds, a manipulator that moves behind their mask. It is ancient. It is familiar, and it chose them not because they are wicked, but because they are wounded. Wounds invite watchers, and watchers invite warfare. You carry light, and that makes you a threat. Your presence alone stirs discomfort in them. Not because of what you've said, but because of what you carry. The light in you exposes what's hiding in them. And now, heaven is watching how you move. Every reaction is being measured. Every decision is being recorded. God is not just exposing, He is testing your response to revelation. Will you confront? Will you explode? Or will you do the unexpected? Stay still and trust divine timing. They were allowed to hide because heaven wanted to see if you could recognize deception without being told. And now you have. You saw it. You felt it. And that means you passed the first level of discernment. But the next test is greater. Can you carry truth without needing to use it? Can you watch without warning? Can you observe without reacting? Your silence is a strategy from heaven. Every time you withhold your reaction, angels move. Every time you pause, they press forward. You are no longer just a family member. You are a watchman, a sentinel placed in the heart of the conflict to record and resist without revealing your hand. Michael reminds you, they are watching to see if you've awakened. But they don't realize your silence is your sword. Do not give them what they expect. Do not feed the spirit with emotional outbursts. Heaven is using your restraint to suffocate the power of the lie. This silence is sacred. His stillness is soaked in spiritual power, and it will speak louder than any accusation ever could. God is preparing your response, not your reaction. He is aligning your awareness with your calling. What they thought they buried in secrets is about to birth your next level of spiritual authority. This is more than exposure. This is elevation. You've been chosen not to fight them, but to outgrow them. Not to accuse them, but to ascend. You are being led by divine intelligence. Do not deviate. Do not descend. Rise, even when silence feels like surrender. Rise because heaven is lifting your voice above the noise. Type "I am a warrior" in silence in the comments if this word reaches your soul. Lesson code 444 is now activating around you. Listen carefully. Time is moving quickly, and heaven is issuing an urgent warning. Within the next 72 hours, a shift will occur. What has been hidden will stir, and those who have been watching you silently will attempt to provoke you openly. They will test your knowing. They will press your spirit to react. This is not by accident. It is by design. Their peace is cracking. Their lies trembling. and your stillness is screaming louder than words. There is something being planned in the unseen. Tonight. Yes, tonight. But heaven planned this moment before they ever conspired. Michael whispers. They are trying to build confusion, but I have already established clarity. What you are sensing is their panic. They feel you pulling away emotionally. They sense you are no longer under their spell. And now, they must decide whether to dig deeper into deception or attempt to draw you out. Watch for the signs. A phone call that feels out of place. A slip of the tongue that reveals more than intended. A message sent to the wrong person, or perhaps intentionally sent to test your awareness. Here will be a misstep. Here will be an opening. But do not walk through it. Do not confirm what you know. Your silence is not suspicion. It is strategy. Let them wonder. Let them question your quietness. Let your restraint preach louder than your accusations. This pressure will rise. The air will feel heavy. The tension may increase. But let your clarity be your sword. You are not being led by emotions. You are being led by insight. Heaven is handling the battle that your heart cannot. Michael declares, stand firm. The trap they are setting will catch them, not you. They may try to provoke confrontation. They may escalate a casual moment into drama. But do not be baited. Do not descend into the flesh. You are operating in the spirit now. You've crossed over. You're no longer reacting from the wound. You're responding from the throne. Heaven is watching how you steward this revelation. It is not just about surviving. It is about ascending. The enemy is counting on your reaction to ruin the revelation. But your restraint is forcing his hand. The tables are turning, and what was meant to corner you is cornering them instead. Stay low. Stay listening. Stay lethal in your stillness. Your calmness is unsettling the forces that relied on chaos. Michael's sword is drawn, not for violence but for justice. You are defended. You are covered. You are being protected not just from the act, but from the accusation. Heaven has hidden you in plain sight. And in 3 days, a shift will break the very root of this deception. Type I am untouchable in the comments if you hear this warning. Blessing code 727 is now sealing your path. Be still. Not in passivity. Not in fear. But in power. For your stillness right now is not weakness. It is warfare. Heaven has ordained a silence around you, not to mute your voice, but to magnify your discernment. The more silent you become, the more heaven speaks through you. The less you say, the more the angels move. Archangel Michael says, do not be deceived. Silence is not surrender. It is strategy. It is sacred. It is the shield of those who have seen the truth and refuse to be baited by deception. The warfare around you is unseen, but not unnoticed. The watchers in the spiritual realm have taken their positions. Michael stands at the gate. His sword is not drawn against you, but against what has tried to use those around you to silence your anointing. You are not just walking through a family disturbance. You are navigating a spiritual trap set to provoke, confuse, and derail your prophetic insight. But you are being guided, protected, shielded, because you are chosen. Tonight, your instructions are clear. Observe. Pattern. Don't react. Let them speak. Let them spin their stories. Let them attempt to gaslight and deflect. But you stay still. Write it down. Pray it through. Watch how the Holy Spirit moves between their words, showing you truth they never meant to reveal. In silence, the enemy exposes himself. In stillness, the lie collapses under its own weight. Michael wants you to know, you are not alone in this quiet. You are not abandoned in this stillness. I stand beside you. I fight for you. I speak your name in the throne room of heaven. You are covered. You are unseen. You are shielded in light too bright for darkness to touch. The angels are moving through your stillness, through your obedience to the sacred pause. Affirm these truths. I am covered. I am unseen. I am shielded. I am unbothered by the noise, because heaven has cloaked me in purpose. Speak it aloud or whisper it into the silence. Your words carry weight in the spirit. They call angels to attention. They fortify the walls of protection around your mind and heart. Understand this. What is hidden in them will be revealed through you. Not by force, not by confrontation, but by divine exposure. Your clarity will outlast their chaos. Your calm will confuse their manipulation. They expected you to react, and your refusal to do so will trigger the collapse of the narrative they have built. You are under divine surveillance. Heaven is collecting the details, and every moment you choose not to retaliate, you are placing trust in God's justice. Michael is stationed not just to defend you, but to instruct you. Listen closely. In moments of prayer, in flashes of memory, in dreams, the strategy will come. The next step will unfold, but not through haste, only through stillness. Let them wonder what you know. Let them fear your calm. Let them spiral trying to interpret your silence. That is where the power is, not in speaking, but in knowing. And you, beloved, now know. And because you know, you have become a storm concealed in still waters. Type I am shielded in stillness in the comments if you hear this word in your spirit. Blessing code 7777 is now surrounding you with divine silence and supernatural protection. They thought you were the same. They mistook your gentleness for gullibility. They confused your silence for submission. But what they don't know, what they cannot see, is that you are no longer the version of yourself they once manipulated. That version is gone. That version has died. What stands now is a resurrected soul. What breathes now is someone clothed in authority, sharpened by betrayal, and awakened into divine clarity. You are the storm behind calm winds, and nothing will ever be the same again. Michael declares, you have survived what others could not. You have endured betrayals that would have broken lesser vessels. And yet here you stand, not bitter but better, not fractured but forged. The betrayal did not destroy you. It revealed you. It refined you. It activated the warrior within you. And now, the enemy's greatest fear is coming to pass. You've awakened. You were never meant to blend in with brokenness. You were never assigned to bow before manipulation. You are not just a survivor, you are a seer. You see now with a clarity you didn't ask for, but desperately needed. That dream you had, that strange silence before certain conversations, that resistance in your spirit when they smiled too wide or spoke too softly. Those were not coincidences. Those were codes, downloads from the divine. Heaven says, their power over you was always tied to your silence. And now that you have claimed your silence as a weapon, their hold is broken. Your strength is not in shouting. Your strength is in sensing, in knowing when to speak and when to stay still. You have become a spiritual weapon, not fashioned by pain, but by purpose. Remember your journey. Recall the moments you were mocked, dismissed, or manipulated. Let them serve as fuel, not for vengeance, but for vision. You were never weak. You were never small. You were just asleep. But now your spirit is roaring. Now your discernment is no longer dulled. Now you walk into rooms not looking for approval, but carrying prophetic authority. You stepped into your anointing, not because you earned it, but because you endured for it. Your silence did not signify surrender. It was the sound of your spiritual metamorphosis. You are not here to expose them with rage. You are here to outlast them with revelation. So walk differently now. Move with awareness. Speak only what heaven instructs. Because your every step, your every glance, your every silence carries weight in the spirit. Michael marches beside you. Angels flank your path. And the LV trembles not because of what you said, but because of who you've become. If this message is awakening something within you, consider supporting this prophetic work by giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your support helps us continue creating powerful, spirit-led content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am the storm" in the comments if this word confirms your shift. Blessing code 1155 is now covering your path. Now comes the holy divide. The moment where truth cuts between appearances and reveals what eyes alone could never see. Archangel Michael stands as the witness and the executor of divine separation. He declares, "This is not just a betrayal. This is a divine breaking. This is not just a wound. This is a warning. What was hidden behind false loyalty, what was masked in shallow concern, hath been judged from heaven's throne and found wanting. This separation is not your failure. It is your deliverance." You see, God does not expose to embarrass. He exposes to extract. What he reveals, he intends to remove. And this exposure, this knowing, is your extraction from entanglements that were quietly poisoning your purpose. You have been trying to fix what was sent to fracture. You've been covering what God was trying to uncover. But no more. The Spirit says, this is the hour of divine clarity. I will no longer allow you to protect what pretended to love you but plotted in silence. This is the fire that refines. This is the sword that severs. Michael has not come to comfort the confusion. He has come to divide. Not people from people, but truth from lies, light from shadow, authenticity from performance. You are being repositioned. You are being prepared. And what you thought was just drama was actually destiny clearing space. Heaven cannot build where the ground is corrupted. God cannot elevate what is entangled with manipulation. So he burns. He revealed. He divines. You have been chosen to carry revelation, not resentment. Let go of the desire to confront. Release the need to be proven right. You do not need their apology to walk in your authority. Heaven has already judged the matter. You are not here to convince them of the truth. You are here to walk boldly in the clarity that has been granted to you. Revelation is your weapon, and revelation is your reward. The separation you're experiencing is the evidence of your next level. You cannot bring their secrets into your new season. You cannot drag their false narratives into your breakthrough. God is calling you higher, and not everyone can go. Let them go quietly. Let them be uncomfortable in your silence. Let them deal with the weight of what they've hidden, while you ascend into what you've been promised. This is not a time for mourning. This is a time for marveling. You're not losing. You're being launched. The veil is torn. The stage is set. And what they tried to keep from you is about to push you into visibility you didn't even ask for. Heaven will now highlight you in places you were once hidden, and it will be the exposure of their lie that validates your calling. Michael says, walk away not in bitterness, but in boldness. This was not personal. This was prophetic. You were born for separation. This is divine distancing. God himself is pulling you away from what no longer aligns. Don't fight to stay connected where heaven has removed the bridge. Type I am SET apart in the comments if you receive this revelation. Blessing code 5566 now seals the separation and anoints your new direction. Now is the moment of awakening. You are no longer reacting. You are responding. You are no longer surviving. You are stepping into spiritual dominion. Heaven is calling you not to retreat, but to rise. Not to question, but to declare. Not to shrink, but to shift. Archangel Michael now moves to activate what the betrayal was meant to bury, your destiny. Say it aloud. I will not be shaken by shadows. The darkness around you is not your prison. It's your proving ground. The silence you held was not weakness. It was your consecration. You were being prepared while others were performing. You were being strengthened while they were strategizing in secret. And now, the stage is yours. Not to act, but to ascend. Destiny does not knock politely. It breaks through the clutter. It interrupts relationships. It ruins illusions. And when it comes, it demands your full attention. Heaven is not interested in your comfort. Heaven is interested in your calling. What was allowed to fall away was never part of the fulfillment. What tried to sabotage you was part of the syllabus. You are being trained for greater. Michael speaks. Your obedience is unlocking your inheritance. The lie did not delay the promise. It delivered the clarity you needed to walk fully into it. You are not behind. You are on time. What they tried to delay has been accelerated by your submission to the Spirit. Because you did expose them, heaven is now exposing you to higher realms of favor. Start documenting the signs. Record the dreams. Journal the divine patterns. Heaven is speaking, and every word is sacred. Your spiritual memory is being trained to recall what others overlook. You're seeing visions more frequently. You're noticing timing alignments. That's not coincidence. It's confirmation. You're in activation now. You're in motion. You've stepped into divine synchronization. Say yes with your spirit. Declare agreement in the atmosphere. Heaven responds when you do. Michael says your voice is not small, it is seismic. What you decree now shakes both earthly and spiritual realms. Speak it. I am called. I am ready. I will not hide behind their deception any longer. Your visibility is rising. Your name is being whispered in rooms you haven't entered yet. And what they tried to suppress is now being seen by divine design. There is purpose in your pain. There is strategy in your silence. And there is reward in your righteousness. Obedience has a sound, and heaven has heard yours. Expect the doors. Expect the divine favor. Expect supernatural appointments. What was stolen is returning sevenfold. The time of delay has expired. You are being shifted, from hidden to highlighted, from overlooked to overtaken with blessing. And it is not for revenge. It is for revelation. So others will know what God can do with someone who refused to break when betrayal came home. Type I am awakened in the comments if this resonates with your journey. Blessing code 6060 is now unlocking divine acceleration. While the world slept, while your eyes searched for peace in the midnight silence, heaven was in session. Archangel Michael, the protector of destinies, stood in the realm you could not see, engaged in a holy negotiation for your inheritance. And though your body may have been at rest, your spirit was active in the courts of the Most High. For what you thought was restlessness was actually resonance. Your soul was aligning with a transaction that had been waiting for divine timing. That time is now. Listen closely. As they hide, angels uncover. As they scheme, heaven strategizes. As they whisper behind closed doors, angels thunder your name before the throne. And while they plot in shadows, The light of God has exposed their intentions, not to you yet, but to heaven first. You have been under divine surveillance, not to catch you, but to protect you. And now, the records are complete. The truth is sealed. The judgment is set. What was spoken against you in secret has become a scroll in heaven. Michael declares, every word has been weighed, every motive had been measured, and the verdict is justice. There is no more delay. The silent exchange has occurred. While you were quiet, heaven was loud. While you bit your tongue, the angels sharpened their swords. And what they buried in deception is now being resurrected as your reward. There are conversations happening in the spirit realm that concern you. Ancestors, those who walked righteously before you, have pleaded for your justice. They have cried out from the altar of remembrance, invoking the covenant made over your bloodline. You were never alone. The pain you felt did not go unnoticed. It echoed through the heavens and reached the ear of God. And he responded, not with comfort, but with strategy, not with explanation, but with exposure. Michael whispers now, this is why your soul could not rest. This is why your dreams were disturbed. This is why silence was your only safe place. Because heaven was working. The delay was not a denial. The silence was not neglect. It was a holy chamber where your name was whispered and your future was being restored. In that silence, blessings were signed. In that silence, angels moved. And now comes the mystery. The sacred exchange has begun. What they tried to steal is returning. What they tried to confuse is clearing. What they tried to block is breaking open. But it will not be loud. It will not be public. Heaven is too strategic for spectacle. It will be silent. A divine reversal. A shift in the unseen that changes everything in the natural. Do not seek to explain this to them. They will not understand the realm you operate in. Let them continue their charade. Let them underestimate your silence. For in that stillness, heaven has conducted the trade. Your silence, for clarity. Your restraint, for reward. Your pain, for promotion. You are rising now, but not in noise, in grace. Quietly. Suddenly. Irreversibly. Type I receive the exchange in the comments if this aligns with your spirit. Blessing code 8080 now activates the divine transfer over your life. The divine scales are tipping, and the weight of heaven's justice is pressing down upon every hidden lie, every whispered betrayal, every unjust accusation that was cast against you. Archangel Michael now announces what was declared in the invisible. The tables are turning. Yes, even now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now, the reversal has begun. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to broadcast it. Divine justice does not require your participation to be perfect. God has already ruled in your favor. The lie that lived in secret is being dismantled by divine design. The manipulation that controlled the narrative is now being unraveled by the very silence you held so firmly. Your enemies, and yes, even those in your family, are being confronted not by your words but by God's order. Every secret buried is now a seed of their own consequence. Michael speaks it clearly. They will reap what was buried, not just for the act, but for the intention, for the scheming, for the planning, for the mocking. They laughed thinking you were clueless, but heaven smiled knowing you were covered. This is not revenge. This is restoration. This is not retribution. This is realignment. You are not being vindicated to prove a point. You are being elevated to fulfill a prophecy. Your name has been lifted in rooms they tried to lock you out of. Your voice has reached places their silence tried to deny. And now, The reward is moving swiftly. They will look for you in the same places, in the same conversations, with the same control, and you won't be there. You shifted. The favor on your life has moved you beyond their reach, and they will not understand why. They will not know how, but they will see the evidence. Michael says, your rise will be hidden in mystery. It will be marked by favor they cannot explain and cannot access. The very ones who tried to sabotage your peace will now watch your peace multiply. The tables have turned, and the seed of sorrow they assigned you is now their own. Not because you cursed them, but because you blessed them with your silence. And heaven honored it. Do not gloat. Do not taunt. That is not your posture. Walk with dignity. Walk with power. Let your elevation speak. Let your promotion preach. There will be no announcement, just a shift. There will be no battle, just a breakthrough. Heaven has spoken, and the angels are executing. Michael stands guard at your door, and no retaliation will succeed. No backlash will break through. You are now shielded by justice itself. Divine reversal is your banner. Restoration is your reality. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what God has now set in motion. Type I receive justice in the comments if this message confirms what you've been feeling. Blessing code 3003 is now delivering divine reversal in every area of your life. Now the word is complete. Now the veil is torn. Now your spirit knows what your heart could only whisper. You are not broken. You are reborn. You are not confused, you are commissioned. What was hidden has now been revealed. And though the pain still echoes, the clarity is louder. Archangel Michael stands before you, his sword no longer raised in battle, but lowered in reverence. He has fulfilled his assignment. The scroll has been read. The truth has been unveiled. And now, a blessing is spoken over you, a blessing not of comfort, but of power. May truth protect you. May silence empower you. May discernment walk beside you, and may wisdom speak only when needed. May your soul remember what heaven showed you tonight. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. You are not who you were. You are the storm that walked out of silence. You are the voice that needed no volume. You are the light that exposed without accusation. And now, you rise. Quietly. Fully. Powerfully. Let this word rest in your spirit. Let it guide your next steps. Do not rush. Do not explain. Let the heavens carry this revelation through your bones, your breath, your being. Tonight at 2:33 a.m., everything shifted, and you were never the same again. Michael fades from view, but his protection does not. The angels remain stationed. The light continues to burn. And your name is still echoing in heavenly places. Type I am sealed in the comments if this message has marked your spirit. Blessing code 1212 now seals you with clarity and crowns you with favor.